portion of the news brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Tamra Lee School officials are tonight dismissing claims of racism at the institution.
It's a developing story our news team has been following since last week. The school's principal held a press conference at the Sandyport location today and lamented that racism or discrimination on any level is not tolerated at the school.
Now, school officials have added that if any parent or parents aren't pleased with the operations at the institutions, they can seek services elsewhere. Our Janaea Noel Ferguson has been following the story.
Tamra Lee School officials responded to allegations of racism at the school after turning away members of the media for a response last week. School principal Alice Lanford said the school does not support discrimination of any form.
Tamra Lee has insisted that its students, faculty, and staff treat each other with mutual respect and has preached and practiced the Golden Rule.
Two parents, Shavaz Cesar and J.P. Mickelson, allege racial discrimination by children and school officials. Cesar pointed out that her son was told that, quote, brown boys could not play on the soccer field. Cesar says the matter was reported but was not dealt with appropriately.
Although the precise action desired by the parent in question was not affected at the time or the matter desired, Tamra Lee has addressed the matter in a way that it considers fair and reasonable in all circumstances.
Now, following her statement, the principal refused questions from the media and was escorted away. Our cameras were also allowed access inside the classroom. The parents stressed that race has never been an issue.
Never once have I had a situation whereby I could say the administration or the school is racist. They all play together. They even discuss color.
But they take care of the whole child, and that's what I'm looking for, and that's what I'm paying for. Okay, and so to say Ms. Langfield is racist, or the school is, I really don't know how they come up with that.
Kids don't have that kind of superficial hang-up at the school, you know.
Child went to another school prior to coming here. And if you ask me, she experienced more racism there with a majority black population than she did here.
I think, unfortunately, the situation has actually maybe put things in reverse and made it worse for people, because this entire time there was not a problem. It was never an issue of race. Now all of a sudden she's being made aware that there are differences.
I know for certain they're not learning it here at the school. They don't even have to be learning it at school, at home. Kids hear things all over the place.
Whereas allegations have been made by an individual which tend to suggest that this is a racially charged environment or that this environment is somehow unsafe or inappropriate for one's children, quite frankly, the individual concerned still has their children in the school today.
Parents at the school say that had there been any hint of racism at the school, their children would have been removed. Janaea Noel Ferguson, ZNS Network News.
Now, Shavaz Cesar is responding to Tamra Lee School and supporting parents. While school officials claim they have dealt with the matter according to the school's policy, Cesar says the school has taken no action despite her repeated suggestions. As for her allowing her children to remain at the school, Cesar says the fees have been paid for the remainder of the semester and they will be moved on her terms.
There are a few more weeks left in the semester, and I know persons have been saying subjecting my kids to scrutiny. I think at this point, the light has been shed on what's going on at Tamra Lee, and I don't think it would be a good move on them to cause any more discomfort for the children that has already occurred. But at this point, the children are fine. The initial incident was the issue. But the children are there, and they will move on our terms. We have freedom of association and freedom of movement. And only when I decide to move the kids, they will be moved. And I think my kids being there is a constant reminder that this policy needs to be put in place. The Bahamian people are owed the explanation of what is Wolf Road English? Why is and what do you mean by that? I think that's an insult to the Bahamian people, and we need answers, and I think this policy needs to be implemented. The school should have dealt with this matter in simply addressing the entire school populace, parents and children alike, making parents aware to also make their kids aware of diversity within the school. I think it should have been the school's obligation to present and set a policy in place to make everyone aware that we're all different, but yet the same.
Well, the IAAF World Relay is set to kick off this weekend with over 1,000 athletes and officials from 42 countries converging here in the capital.
All right, they're getting ready to burn up the track, and as our Jared Higgs tells us, there will also be some economic benefits.
Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honourable Dr. Danny Johnson, says the World Relays are financially demanding, but will have significant rewards for the Bahamas.
Seems like I'm coming in at around these $10 million budgets. With economic impact that might be at least 20-25 million when you look at the whole package.
While he was unable to provide specific budgetary details, the minister was able to provide some insight as to how the money was being spent.
3 to 5 million for the event itself, and then infrastructure, which we get to keep to use for all sorts of other things, is the other 5 million side. So you're looking at the tendency looks like when you're having these things at this scale, you're putting stuff in the ground. About half of your budget goes to that, and the other half seems to go to the actual operations, all the logistics, all the hosting, prize money.
Minister Johnson says he plans to reveal specific details following the Games. He did, however, send an important message to Bahamians seeking to take advantage of the economic stimulus.
Bahamians, entrepreneurial Bahamians, have to figure out now how will they capitalize on the operation side, and that's where the economic impact comes in, because we put in 5, but you all can make 10, 20, 25.
Managing Director of the local organizing committee, Mr. Lionel Haven, was confident that the work would be completed and noted some potential economic gains for Bahamians.
We've got very large numbers of, and I'll add this here, Bahamians employed who are there doing this work, and so the minister spoke of the economic impact of this event, but we've got Bahamian service providers who are there and carrying out these functions.
Now, officials say that as of Thursday, there were about 1,000 tickets left, and that number is sure to be lower now. One of our golden girls, Pauline Davis-Thompson, says she doesn't want people discouraged by the cheaper seats. She also says she wants Bahamian children from all walks of life to come out and enjoy what the Bahamas is doing. Jared Higgs, ZNS Network News.
Free National Movement Senator, the Honorable John Bostwick II, made his first appearance in court today after his Saturday arrest.
Jimenita Swain was in court as the senator maintained his innocence against an ammunition charge.
Senator John Bostwick appeared before Chief Magistrate Joyanne Ferguson Pratt on a single ammunition charge. Bostwick, who appeared to be in good spirits, is accused of possessing 10 live rounds of .22mm ammunition on May 17th while in Freeport, Grand Bahama. Police say the 42-year-old George Street resident was traveling from Freeport to New Providence Saturday night when he was stopped at the security checkpoint. When Bostwick's bags went through the screener, officers reportedly noticed a suspicious object and alerted police. In court, Bostwick pleaded not guilty to the charge. He was represented by his sister Janet Bostwick Dean and his father Henry Bostwick Sr. The chief magistrate explained that as the particulars of the case arise in Freeport, it is the practice of the court to have the matter heard where it took place. However, Bostwick Sr. said he would like to have the matter heard in Nassau. The magistrate then asked how many of the witnesses were from Grand Bahama due to the cost involved in having witnesses travel to the capital. Prosecuting Inspector Clifford Daxon said 10, but made it clear that he had no objections to having the matter heard in Nassau. As a result, the chief magistrate transferred the matter to Magistrate Andrew Forbes, who presides over in Court Number 8 at the South Street Complex. Bostwick was granted bail in the sum of $9,000 with one surety and is also expected to report each Monday to the Central Police Station before 6 p.m. Outside court, Bostwick made this brief statement before embracing his mother.
I'm not a criminal, and again that I am not a criminal, and that I remain that born free nationalist, and I will fight this.
Senator Bostwick, supported by his family, is expected to appear before Magistrate Andrew Forbes on May 27 at 10 a.m. Jimenita Swain, ZNS Network News.
There's more news to come from the National Stadium.
You're watching The Bahamas Tonight.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.